Good morning. This is Keloland on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Sioux Falls police have identified the two teens who died in what they call a catastrophic crash Saturday morning. Police say Milana Reeves and Eric Hopkins were killed.
5 others inside the SUV went to the hospital. They range in age from 13 to 17 years old. Police say multiple people were thrown when the SUV crashed into a central Sioux Falls home. Witnesses first on the scene say some of the teenagers were unconscious. Others were crying for help.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. Never, not in my life. I'm 55 years old, and I've never seen anything like that. It was like a movie. It was like pulling up to a movie, and you say movies are that good. It was just something I never want to see again.
Steve Blumke was driving to work and saw the crash from start to finish. He says the white Durango the teenagers were in was traveling at a high rate of speed when it crashed.
Students and families in the Sioux Falls School District are feeling the impact of the deadly crash. The district dispatched crisis teams to Ben Rifle and Whittier Middle Schools, Axtell Park School, and Washington High School. 15-year-old victim Milana Reeves was a student at Washington and went to middle school at Ben Rifle. 15-year-old Eric Hopkins also spent time in the district.
We gather a larger number at that school site to be able to help and to be able to care for students and make sure that we identify students that may need some extra support and touch base with them.
Nold says it's important for parents to check in with their children and have discussions about the crash if they need it.
The leader of a local animal shelter is being contacted by local and national news outlets in reaction to Governor Kristi Noem's story of shooting and killing her 14-month-old dog for bad behavior. The revelation is in her upcoming book, No Going Back. Sioux Falls Area Humane Society Executive Director James Oppenheimer says pet owners have options if their dog has behavior issues. He says if you're having trouble with your dog, look into a trainer or reach out to your local animal shelter.
We are about giving animals second chances. We are about giving people second chances. So we are about trying to match up the right person with the right animal.
Last year, the Humane Society took in over 8,200 animals.
Now let's get a check of the weather with meteorologist Scott Munt. Looks like the sunshine going to give way to more storms today, Scott.
Showers, thunderstorms in the forecast for today as temperatures will be warmer than what we had yesterday. Numbers mainly in the 60s for afternoon highs. We may get a couple of us in the low 70s across extreme southeastern South Dakota and into northwestern Iowa. There's that slight risk for severe weather for today. It takes us from Yankton, Sioux Falls up toward Marshall and east. And then highlighted in orange, mainly in the western and central Iowa. That's an enhanced risk for severe weather. Right now, I would say the main threat out of any storms will end up being hail. And we may see some of that maybe around the midday hour with some of these thunderstorms that are expected to start late this morning toward midday. You can see those areas trying to set up across southeastern South Dakota into Minnesota. And then that trend will continue as we go through the afternoon. Brian will have more details on your forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Ellsworth Air Force Base is expecting to see a surge in numbers thanks to the B-21 bomber expansion and is breaking ground on a new facility. The base hosted the 4th of 7 groundbreaking ceremonies on Monday, this time on a new weapon generation facility.
To get where we need to be as we talk culturally is part of that. But with that, you're going to see an influx of new airmen that show up. So from both the NCO levels all the way down to our airman level, we're going to see an influx of new airmen, that this will be their first base, their first experience.
The facility will have 400 airmen working inside once construction is completed.
The USS South Dakota Battleship Memorial begins welcoming visitors to its museum on Wednesday. New at the museum is this hand-painted Harley-Davidson featuring images of the South Dakota World War II battleship and the active-duty nuclear submarine. The motorcycle is on loan from Sturgis through the month of May.
I love it. It is beautiful, and it really represents, our submarine and our battleship, and I would like to keep it. But I don't think the owner would let me keep it.
The second key to the motorcycle is actually kept on board the USS South Dakota submarine. Well, that's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, our weather forecast today. Watching severe weather parameters in the southeast. We still have a slight risk, that yellow zone that comes up through Yankton, Sioux Falls. You can see into southwestern Minnesota and northwestern Iowa. Large hail is the primary threat in our coverage area, but we can't rule out some damaging winds or an isolated tornado threat. I still believe is mostly into parts of western Iowa and probably a little outside of our coverage area. But we'll be on top of that. Nevertheless, there's that hail risk. And by the way, within that zone, we expect a couple of these storms can produce up to golf ball size hail. So I would definitely pay attention to that. You know, temperatures have been changing this morning, warming up. The dew point is also changing. This is a late morning, early afternoon weather picture there in southeast South Dakota, northwest Iowa, and southwest Minnesota. Dew points are in the 50s. So, you know, there's to some degree a measurable difference there in the amount of moisture ahead of this frontal system. And so that's one factor that we will consider as we evaluate the conditions out there through the afternoon. Obviously, eventually, we're going to see a drop in those dew points. The forecast on Futurecast, this gives us an idea of where showers and thunderstorms can bubble up. We've had a cluster in northeast Nebraska. That is eventually here over the next few hours going to at least evolve into some other clusters around Sioux Falls and into northwest Iowa. So that's right in here. And then you'll see some other general showers in central South Dakota. That activity is not expected to become severe today. And then for the afternoon, let's watch that secondary push that comes in west of I-29 after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Mid-afternoon looks a little bumpy. Sioux Falls area, we are looking at clusters of showers and thunderstorms. So just kind of be aware of that. And yeah, if you're particular about hail and where that could possibly affect folks, I would highly suggest you keep that Storm Tracker app handy. That is free to download. It is a very useful tool on your mobile device. Now, the overnight forecast, I think all this active weather is going to slide to the east. We'll have some clearing. We'll have lows in the upper 30s and low 40s. Tomorrow, mostly starting dry, but already there. By noon, there might be a few showers starting in central South Dakota, even a little bit of scattered thunder in the central areas mid to late afternoon. And guess what? We got another system rolling in from the west here for Wednesday night into Thursday. Is this an active pattern? Absolutely it is. And I know some of these rain gauges have had quite a workout just over the weekend. And now we're going to add more rain to this with another batch there Thursday morning. You can see an area of low pressure coming up out of eastern Nebraska. Pretty good bet there'll be some severe weather on the front side of that storm system. And then eventually we'll probably see another round of showers by Friday night into early Saturday. Yeah, it is busy. Here's a look at the forecast. 67 today, Sioux Falls. Scattered showers and storms. Mid-60s in Pierre and Chamberlain. 61 with a gusty northwest wind in Rapid City. That 7-day forecast. Primarily in the 60s. Again, the rain chances staggered about every other day. Another round is set to forecast to come into our outlook late Sunday into early Monday. Aberdeen also a lot of the same pattern trends here. We're not going to warm up a lot. We're going to see some rain chances there. Thursday, that's another one. And again, that early Friday or late Friday, early Saturday event, that's probably a little lesser system in my opinion. Here in central South Dakota, one thing we will note, by Sunday we try to warm it up a little bit. And then that's another debate too. On day 6 and day 7, if we warm up, are we going to see a more substantial thunderstorm chance? Find out more details about the weather at KENDALLAND.com.